Hi, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Paul Lisnick. You live in the city of Chicago. Like me, you're probably very proud of the city you live in. And there's so many different areas that abut the city that it's often worth taking some time to learn a little bit about them because they offer so much more just by stepping outside a few feet. My next guest will be the mayor of one of those areas I'm talking about. Meet Barrett Pedersen. He's the mayor for the village of Franklin Park, just outside the city of Chicago. Mayor, good to see you again.
Thank you, Paul. Nobody makes Franklin Park as exciting as you do.
Well, it is. Well, of course, I go through it. Listen, I go to the airport a lot, and so always passing the sign where you welcome me to Franklin Park on the sign. And indeed, I want to ask you about that because your location to O'Hare is probably one of the critical things that brings people to you in terms of living or visiting.
It does. Franklin Park is a very vibrant place, and we've been fortunate enough to get 110 new businesses in the last year and a half. Franklin Park is a hub of activity, and we're very proud to have businesses like Nestle has Baby Ruth and Butterfinger. They've never been made any other place than Franklin Park. Anytime you go into a men's restroom and use the urinals, Sloan Valve, Life Fitness.
They're all there.
All there.
Yeah, we just got an exercise bike from Life Fitness, so that's good to know. They're doing good stuff. Also, you have some new places. I want to talk about this. One called Hopscotch Craft Beer, a little kind of a homemade beer and scotch stuff going on.
Yeah, they've got great beer. One of my favorite is the Two-Hearted Ale. It's a double IPA, and they have high-end scotch. So if you are a connoisseur of scotch, you can buy a shot for sometimes as much as $50 a shot.
Now, I have to ask you, some people might be listening and saying, you know, that's great, sounds great, but the thing is, you're so close to O'Hare, wouldn't I be driven, just go nuts with all the noise of the planes taking off all the time?
Well, that's a good thing, Paul, as Franklin Park was a beneficiary of the O'Hare modernization plan in that now the planes are taking off east and west and not going over Franklin Park, so we've been spared a lot of the noise.
Oh, this is good. So you were happy about that.
We were very happy.
Revitalization, no noise problems over there. I also want to talk a little bit about infrastructure over there because obviously, I mean, look, as time goes on, it's amazing how you turn around and the sewers are 100 years old, right?
Yep.
Tell us about a study that's been done and what you've learned, what you got to do.
Well, we had Clark Dietz perform a study. They're an engineering firm, and they determined that we needed to spend between $270 million and $290 million just to bring our infrastructure up to acceptable standards. And when we talk about infrastructure, we're talking about sewers, water mains, and streets, and water towers, which are very expensive to maintain. Our average age is 74 years old, so that means we've only got about 10 to 15 years life of expectancy. And Paul, you know as well as I do, you're not going to replace them all at one time. So we need to put a system in place. And so what we did is a lot of what other communities do is we've invited the citizens in. We've formed a citizens advisory council on infrastructure to deal with the priorities and the funding mechanisms.
And is this something if folks live in Franklin Park, they say, wait a minute, this sounds expensive. This could start costing me taxes and all that kind of, how will this get paid for over time?
Well, one of the things we're relying on is the citizens to decide how do they want this to be financed and what are the priorities. So if they're interested, they can call Ron Heller's office at call my office. Call anybody at the village and say you want to be on the advisory committee, and you can have
play a role. With just a second left, I want to be sure. I want to mention Digital Realty Corporation because you've got the cloud coming to Franklin Park.
And this is a good cloud. This is a storage of a lot of information, and they purchased Frame Industries on Grand Avenue. They're going to put in $450 million to $800 million to create a data storage cloud.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Franklin Park continues to grow.
Thank you, Paul.
Congratulations for the work you do. You could have brought me a Baby Ruth and a Butterfinger.
Yes.
Next time. All right, my guest this hour has been the mayor for the village of Franklin Park, Barrett Pedersen. I'm Paul Lisnick. Now I'm hungry for candy. Thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers. Bye-bye.